Okay, welcome everyone who's tuning in for our live Q&A for the film Our Mother. My name is Nicolas Calzada. I'm the Director of Events Programming with the Miami Film Festival. For those of you who don't know the background of this film and the Miami Film Festival, Our Mother, which is a wonderful and powerful film from Colombia, was slated to have its world premiere at the Miami Film Festival back in March. But as most of you might know, after day 6 of the festival, we had to cancel the last 4 days of the festival due to concerns surrounding coronavirus. So Our Mother is one of the films that unfortunately did not get an opportunity to screen. But we've been very grateful and very happy that the last 3 days we've been able to do an online world premiere of this wonderful film. If by chance you're watching us now and you haven't yet seen the film, you still have a chance to rent it at the Miami Film Festival Vimeo VOD page. You have until midnight tonight to rent it, and once you rent it, you have another 24 hours. You definitely recommend it if you haven't already seen this wonderful film. So without further ado, I want to welcome and thank our guests from the filmmaking team for being here. We have, first of all, Jose Restrepo and Marcela, Valencia, the stars of the film, with us. And Our Mother is also it's a Colombian-Argentinian co-production. And 2 of the excellent producers from Argentina are also here with us today, Federico Eibuzsyc and Barbara Sarasola-Day. Thank you, guys. So for those of you watching at home, what we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation here amongst us for the next 20 minutes or so. And then if there are questions from the audience, we'll definitely start tackling some of those. So one note is that the director of the film, Diogenes Cuevas, could not be here with us today, but on behalf of the Miami Film Festival, we want to extend our congratulations to him and our best wishes for making this just absolutely wonderful film, which is the reason that we're here today. So I'm going to hop into the first question for you guys, and it's about Diogenes. So this film was his feature debut, and having seen it now, obviously he's an amazing directorial talent and probably has a very bright future. But imagine at the time that he first approached all of you about this film, he hadn't yet made a feature. So did you guys have any doubts or reservations about coming onto this project? How did he approach you? How did he convince you to take a chance on him and on this film? I guess we'll start with Federico.
Okay, hi, how are you? I'm Federico, one of the Argentinian producers with Barbara also. Yeah, to be honest, Barbara and I, we had a lot of doubts about to make the film. The project arrived to us through Johnny Hendrix, the Colombian producer. We did already 2 films with Johnny before Our Mother. So we know a lot of the Johnny capacity, but we really don't know too much about Diogenes. And once we read the script, we like it. It was it's interesting. We like the topic. We love the characters. But we thought the first doubt that we have is the acting. You know, we have the actors here. We really, our concern was how Diogenes would manage the acting for those characters, because it's really hard to do. It's really easy to do it wrong. I mean, to talk about this kind of condition, the mental condition or illness or that kind of things, can be really easy to do it in a wrong way. So we discussed it with Barbara. And the truth is that Johnny convinced both of us, and we say, okay, let's try to do it. And what we talked with Johnny is try to give Diogenes a really strong crew. That's why we sent from Argentina a really good DOP. So from here we did what we can, that is give a Roman, is a really good DOP with a lot of experience, so Diogenes can rely on him on set. And in post-production, our contribution was in the editing with Anita, is an editor that works before with Johnny. He's from Argentina, but also had worked with Johnny. So we thought that if we can give Diogenes a really strong crew, the risk is it was lower, no? And,
sure.
But to be honest, I was afraid about the acting until I saw the first cut.
Yeah,
I don't know if Barbara has to add something.
Yeah, well, when we received the script, maybe one of the things that I mean, we have the dubs, of course, the dubs that you always have with a first-time director. But as Federico said, I mean, we worked with Johnny before, so if he was as convinced as he was at that time, that made us trust as well. Diogenes also, he was the assistant director to one of Johnny's films, a film that Johnny directed, Candelaria.
Yeah.
So, well, we received comments from other people of the crew from Candelaria, and told us about Diogenes. And when we spoke with him, certainly I think that was one of the reasons that ended up convincing us, no? Because the subject, the topic is, well, when we read the script, it was very moving, no? Because it is kind of still a taboo, no? To talk about mental illness. I don't know how to call it, because
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
So that was one of the things that had like let's say the like a big weight, you know, in our decision. And well, we also in the film, the two Argentine actors that we really like, and we're very happy with their work as well. Of course, we are very happy with Jose and Marcela, and it was a huge relief when we saw the first cut.
Oh, nice.
Really happy with the result. And the Argentine cast, they played the nun at the psychiatric hospital, Bianco, that's a very well-known actress here. And Santiago Carranza, that plays Jose's brother.
But I guess that it was quite different for us to receive a script and maybe think about a project in production matters, no? And maybe the actors have another kind of thoughts when they first read it. I don't know.
Yeah, Jose, what was your first reaction and your first interaction with Diogenes like?
Well, I to me the thing that actually like make me sure to be want to be a part of this project was the fact that he was the writer of the script, so I knew that he understood the story as much as anyone could. So he was the best for directing his own vision about what he wrote. So that thing gave me made me feel comfortable with accepting the movie, even though I haven't even seen anything that he had done previously. But I think that we had a meeting, and I asked a couple of questions. I remember specifically talking about the ending, and I didn't understand too much what he meant, but that was exactly what I thought this movie was special, because I thought that the ending it was such a difficult thing for me to imagine, that I think that's what great art is made of. You know, it can be just a PowerPoint presentation of something you think. It has to be something that is abstract enough that different people can relate to and can find meaning in different things. So I thought it was a beautiful script, and he was the person to direct it. And I think I didn't make a mistake there.
No, absolutely not. It's wonderful, and the ending is so powerful. I'm glad you brought that up. So just so people know, we're going to switch over to Spanish so that Marcela so I can ask Marcela a question and she can answer. I'll translate her response afterward. So, Marcela, estamos hablando de cómo es que Diógenes, el director, le convenció a usted a unirse a este proyecto. Estoy curioso si al inicio tuviste algunas dudas siendo su ópera prima, o desde el inicio estabas muy entusiasmada. Háblanos un poco de eso, si puedes.
Yo recibo una llamada de Diógenes y me comenta que una directora acá en Colombia, Laura Ramos, espero no equivocarme de apellido, a veces soy muy despistada con los apellidos. Bueno, Laura Mora.
Sí, creo que fue.
Bueno, Laura Mora a mí me dirigió en una serie que se llama Pablo Escobar, donde yo hice 4 capítulos o 5, no me acuerdo. Y después me vio en una obra de teatro que es un monólogo que se llama Yo no estoy loca, que digamos ya ha salido mucho internacionalmente y nacionalmente. De hecho, mira, íbamos para Miami cuando pasó la pandemia con este monólogo. Esperamos que el otro año se pueda dar. Y ella me recomienda con Diógenes. Diógenes me hace una primera llamada, me comenta, yo le mando, porque yo vivo en Bogotá, Diógenes vive en Medellín y toda la película se rodó en Antioquia. Entonces él me pide un primer casting, como un acercamiento, y yo lo hago desde acá, desde Bogotá, se lo envío, me pide un segundo, me pide un tercero. Antes de eso, obviamente, me mandó el guión, ¿no? Para que yo me pudiera guiar. Y después del tercer casting, de unas indicaciones que él me iba dando, él me llamó y me dijo, yo quiero que tú lo hagas finalmente. Me imagino que se presentaron 5.000 actrices. Y entonces me escogió y pues yo ya había leído el guión y a mí me encantó desde el principio. Entonces fue muy fácil que me convencieran realmente.
Gracias, gracias. So just to translate that answer, she actually says she was convinced from the get-go because she absolutely loved the script, and she gave us some background into how she met Diógenes. They have a common working acquaintance, Laura Mora, who's a director who's directed her in several episodes of Pablo Escobar. And so she kind of served as a go-between between Diógenes and her. And so Diógenes is in Medellin while she's in Bogotá. And so they did a kind of a long distance casting where he sent her the script and had her kind of read for the part. And they did it once, twice, 3 times. And after the 3rd time, he picked Marcela to take on this role. And she was happy and convinced to do it from the get-go. Okay, great. So we're going to move on to the next question. And actually, it's a question for Marcela, which I'll ask in Spanish, and then later we'll translate. Marcela, le quería felicitar por una actuación tan real y conmoviente. Me imagino que debería haber sido muy difícil hacer un papel de alguien con problemas mentales y hacerlo en una manera tan real, ¿no? Y me pregunto, ¿cómo fue su preparación para este papel? ¿Hiciste investigaciones, algunas entrevistas, o simplemente trabajaste momento a momento? ¿Cómo fue esa preparación?
No sé si tú quieres que yo hable, digamos, un pedazo y tú traduzcas. ¿Se parece?
Si quieres, sí, está bien. Perfecto.
Cuando yo ya sé que voy a tener el papel, yo llamo a un amigo psiquiatra mío que tiene una clínica muy importante aquí en Bogotá de psiquiatría, y le pido que me permita ir algunos días a ver, simplemente que me deje sentar ahí a ver, digamos, los pacientes que hay, y él me permite ir en las horas donde ellos tienen, digamos, como una especie de recreo, que los sacan a un patio, porque pues yo no soy médico y pues no podía entrar ni a las terapias de ellos ni a las habitaciones, y ahí voy 3 veces a investigar o a sentarme sencillamente a verlos, si quieres.
See, we're gonna continue with the question, but just to take a break to translate, I asked her how she prepared for this role. She gave a very convincing performance of a character with mental health issues, and asked her if there was research involved in that, in preparing for the role. And she says that, yeah, she has, once she got the part, she contacted a friend who's a psychiatrist who runs a clinic in Bogota, and asked for permission to kind of go and observe, and he granted that permission during recreation hours. So when the patients aren't inside, but they're kind of outside and have a little bit of free time. And so she went 3 times and just kind of sat and observed. ¿Puede continuar?
Y digamos que vi muchas cosas, ellos me guiaban y me decían, estas personas son bipolares, las otras son esquizofrénicas, ahí me impresionó mucho porque había algunos jóvenes, digamos, por drogadicción con intentos de suicidio, y digamos que observé todos los que podían y llegamos con Diógenes a que finalmente no le íbamos a poner una etiqueta a ella de, por poner un ejemplo, va a ser bipolar, va a ser esquizofrénica, va a ser, sencillamente es una mujer con un dolor muy profundo, y aparte del dolor profundo, pues que la dejan encerrada en un sitio que me imagino que si le dan drogas, los que vieron la película, o les pegan, pues eso acrecienta más las posibles, digamos, de desequilibrios que ella pudo tener mentalmente. No sé si quieres.
Sí, perfecto. So she saw a lot in the course of doing that research. Saw patients who were bipolar, who were schizophrenic, some who were drug addicts or suicidal. But she and Diogenes decided they didn't want to put a specific label on this character of having a specific disorder. They decided simply this is a woman who has who's dealing with a profound pain in her life, and who, on top of that, has been locked up in this place that I imagine is nothing like the real clinic she saw, but it's a place where she's been drugged, and so these various factors contribute to her lack of equilibrium.
Y ya después yo estuve un mes antes viajando todos los fines de semana a Medellín, y ahí empecé a trabajar con Diógenes y con un director de actores de la escuela de Antioquia, de la escuela de teatro de Antioquia. Y entonces, aparte de digamos, de las sensaciones que yo llevaba de ver estas personas en ese psiquiátrico, más las indicaciones del director, que durante un mes trabajamos, yo fui creando, digamos, el personaje, y se plasmó, pues, como ustedes lo ven en la película.
Perfecto. So in addition to that research, then 1 month before shooting started, she would fly to Medellin, which is where Diogenes is based. She's based in Bogota. She would fly every weekend for a month leading up to the start of production, and she would work with him, with the casting director from Antioch, which is where the filming occurred, and a mixture of that research and of the month-long preparations with the directors would ultimately let her kind of hone in on what this character was and prepare her for the shoot. Muchas gracias, Marcela.
Otra última cosa es que Diógenes, cuando ya me conoce, que viene a Bogotá, yo no soy una mujer gorda, nunca lo he sido, pero pues me mantengo en un peso entre 51, 52 kilos, y Diógenes me pidió el favor de que bajara a 45 kilos para llegar al rodaje con digamos, con ese peso. No es de pronto muy notorio porque, como digo, yo no soy una mujer gorda, pero de todas maneras es la primera vez que yo tuve que hacer una dieta como juiciosa durante 4 o 5 meses, incluyendo el rodaje, pues porque él la quería ver lo que más se viera un poco demacrada, ¿no?
Yeah. So then the last thing was, as part of the physical preparation for the role, she's a person who's always been very skinny, but even so, Diogenes asked her to lose a considerable amount of weight before shooting, to kind of portray that this is a character who's just not been well fed or well taken care of. Muchas gracias, Marcela.
Gracias.
So my next question is for everyone. I'm curious what the biggest challenge was for each of you during the production. One of the things I was struck with was just the beautiful remote countryside, Colombian countryside where this was filmed. I don't know what the shooting, what the shooting situation was like there, if it was difficult, or what other challenges you faced. But I'm curious to hear each of your perspective on that. What was most difficult for you guys? Barbara, we can start with you.
That silencia.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we didn't actually go to. I didn't go to the shooting, so we were receiving news from. Yeah. It was Johnny there actually.
Okay.
So we were receiving from time to time some news, and they were telling us daily what was going on. Well, Johnny and the crew we sent, Roman, the DOP. So that was.
Yeah, maybe Jose can share the experience of the shooting.
Well,
Absolutely, yeah.
The experience was great. I think there were physical factors. I mean, like the terrain, the geography. Sometimes we had to make long walks and spend a lot of time in the sun and everything. But to me, that was part of the experience. I don't think it was nearly as close as movies that go to I don't know, like the Arctic or places in the snow. I don't think it was that hard. It was hard, but I was enjoying it, so I wasn't very preoccupied with the weather and all of that stuff. But to me, I think that the most difficult part was accepting that not all the projects that I work on are made with such love and such like care, even film, even in I've done a few movies, and I think this one was really special because I think Diogenes, I think, is a natural born leader, and I think he directed this film and he led us to make a great movie and to be part of something that you feel like proud to be in. And so
Yeah.
the difficult part for me was having to finish the film and go home.
Well, that's great. Marcela, estaba preguntando, y tal vez usted ya habló de esto, no sé, pero estoy curioso para cada persona cuál fue el reto más grande de esta producción, la dificultad más grande que tuviste que superar, digamos, durante la filmación o preparando el personaje, lo que sea.
Bueno, uno, ponerme a dieta porque yo nunca he hecho dieta en la vida. Entonces, fue digamos que tener una disciplina para eso. La verdad, yo en el rodaje la pasé muy bien. Cuando yo digo la pasé muy bien, me refiero a que trabajé muy rico. Las horas eran, digamos, eran duras, eran extenuantes, pero no sé, cuando uno está como tan contento, como que se le pasa. Ahora, ya hablando, lo de la laguna, para mí fue lo más duro, porque era una laguna
La última escena.
completamente-
Yes.
La última escena era helada. Ustedes no se imaginan lo helada. De hecho, Santa Fe de Antioquia, San Pedro de los Milagros, qué pena me equivoqué. Medellín tiene un clima más o menos medio, pero está a una hora donde estábamos, que ya es frío. La laguna era helada, y pues uno no hace una toma y ya. Fueron muchas tomas, y digamos que eso fue como tal vez lo más duro, hablo físicamente, ¿no?
Claro.
Porque pues, emocionalmente siento que hubo otras escenas que seguramente estaban más cargadas, pero esa fue como mi experiencia, ¿no? Y bueno, en el rodaje quiero contarle a la gente una anécdota. Yo soy muy animalista, amo los animales, y yo no sé, y coincidió que Johnny, Diógenes, y etcétera, terminamos recogiendo un poco de animales de esa población entre la producción,
Wow.
perros y gatos.
Qué bien.
Sí.
So to translate about, she spoke about her biggest challenges. One right off the bat was what she mentioned earlier, having to lose all the weight for the role because she's never dieted in her life, and to find the discipline to do that was very hard. But generally during the shoot, she says she had a wonderful time. It's not that the hours weren't long, they were, but she was happy with the work, with how it was coming out. So that kind of made it all go by nicely. One part that was very physically challenging was the last scene, which is filmed in a lagoon, if you've already seen the film. And she says it was absolutely freezing. This was 1 hour from Medellin in a very cold region. And it's not like you just go in and do one take and you're done. It was many, many takes inside this absolutely frigid water. So that was, in terms of physicality, that was the most challenging part for her. There were other scenes that were more emotionally challenging as well. And she wanted to share one anecdote, which is that she's an animal lover. And one of the fun things that happened on this shoot was that herself, Johnny, the producer, Diogenes, all ended up adopting animals from the region in which they filmed, dogs and cats. Did you add something? Were you adding something, Federico? Yes.
Yeah, no. As Barbara told you, Barbara and I didn't fly to the shooting, and that's not hard for us. I mean, it's easy to be here while they do the job, but I think that there is something that in post-production we did a lot of the process here in Argentina, the editing, the sound, the image, almost everything here. And it's not hard for us, but I think that was a challenge for Diogenes, because Diogenes no podía. He couldn't fly here to work with the editor and with the sound designer, so he practically did the job kind of like we are speaking through Skype, So he had that experience that we all the world are having now in the pandemic. He had to work in the distance, through the distance. So that's, for a first time director, I think that is a really hard thing to do. I mean, the usual thing would be to go to the editor house, sit there and talk with the editor and try things at the moment. But so he had a hard time doing all this work in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't believe it's already 6:30. We've done a half an hour. It's flown by. You guys have been wonderful. So I'm going to transition to questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Have one here. What was the casting process? The physical resemblance between Jose and Marcela is striking, and the actors have done an amazing job of creating the chemistry, but we really believe this is a mother and her son. So I don't know who wants to talk about the casting process first.
Well,
maybe
I could go jump in English. So
yeah.
I think that it was through Diogenes that all of this magic like kind of click, because he had really clear images about who were the characters. So I think it was easy for him to look for what he wanted. But in the production, when we were actually shooting, I think his sensibility, his way, he has a lot of. I think he's a great director in a sense that he don't overdo it, but he makes sure that you feel like he's right there, that he's listening and watching everything, so that you know that all the the ideas you have, all the propositions you may have for the scene, he always makes sure that you are listened to there, and that's great. But I think he really had a clear image about what he wanted to tell, with what characters did the story need. Or I think it was the clear image that Diogenes had that made possible that the casting worked so well. And to me, is very rare to find a movie where I don't find the the weaker link in a chain, where you find like an actor maybe where he's not in the same level as the others, and you feel like the magic of the movie kind of fades. I think he has that signature, and is a great signature as a filmmaker to have, and is pay attention even to the smallest role. And I think that's what made this movie so believable. The Marcela's work and my work are a part of it, but I think is even more important the world that he built, in which these characters evolve and make you feel like they're there.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you, Jose. Marcela, alguien en el público comentó que estaban impresionados con la química entre Jose y usted, que se creía de verdad que eran madre e hija. Entonces preguntaron cuál fue el proceso de seleccionar los actores. Yo sé que hablaste un poco de eso y de trabajar con Diógenes. No sé si quieres añadir algo más sobre eso.
Yo no conocía a José, pero siento que primero Diógenes tenía muy claro lo que quería de cada personaje, y de todas maneras José y yo también nos encontramos en Medellín y tuvimos unos ensayos explorando, que lo bueno de eso es que Diógenes, cuando nosotros llegamos a los ensayos, en ningún momento nos dijo vamos a coger la escena y la vamos a ensayar, sino que nos ponían a hacer ejercicios como muy libres, como donde José y yo nos encontráramos, como que no tuviéramos la presión, digamos, de un texto para llegar. Y bueno, siento que también tuve la suerte de tener un gran compañero como actor, que es José, y que seguramente esa comunicación, esa escucha cuando se da entre dos actores, como lo que a mí me pasó con José, terminan creando, digamos, esa realidad para el público, que somos una mamá y un hijo, aunque después somos dos actores que no somos, me ha dicho que ni siquiera nos conocíamos, ni siquiera habíamos trabajado antes juntos. Entonces siento que todo ese proceso de trabajo, más esa escucha entre los dos, por lo menos lo que yo sentí de José, que me encantó, me parece un actorazo, de verdad, ojalá me lo vuelva a encontrar en muchas cosas. Y aparte de eso, Diógenes, una persona que tenía muy claro qué quería de cada personaje, nos llevó, digamos, a esa química. Y a la persona que escribió, pues muchas gracias, porque finalmente, si eso se logra, ese es nuestro trabajo.
Sí.
Y el trabajo también, obviamente, del director.
Gracias, gracias. Muy linda respuesta. So she said that she gives a lot of credit to the good chemistry and the convincing performances to Diogenes, the director, for having a really clear vision from the beginning about who these characters were and their relationship. She had never met Jose Restrepo, the co-star, before, but they went to, they met in Medellin, and they did a lot of rehearsals with Diogenes. And she credits those rehearsals because it wasn't just at the beginning, strictly adhering to the script and the text. Diogenes gave them the freedom to kind of do acting exercises, kind of improvisations, to kind of have some liberty to get to inhabit the characters themselves before getting tied to the text. She gives a lot of credit to Jose as well as a co-star for just being a great partner, and that they really listened to each other when they were acting together, and that helps kind of create the authenticity of the moment, that these two actors who had never before met can now convincingly be mother and son. So she gives a lot of credit to Diogenes and to Jose, who was a pleasure to work with. She says, thank you to the person who asked that question, because it's very gratifying for them. That's what their work is, to make it real and convincing. And she's happy to hear that that's what happened. Barbara and Federico, do you want to add anything about that question?
No.
Okay.
No. Huh? You, Barbara?
No, I don't know really what to add. I agree that they really look like
Yeah.
mother and son, and that was something, one of the big and great surprises when we saw the cut.
Yeah.
It's different when they send you the pictures or the videos, like, separate. Separate. And actually, when you watch the interaction and the chemistry, it's different.
That's great.
I could actually add a little thing that
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, that even though the directing is a lot of what we see, a lot of what the characters do in the scene is thanks to a great directing. I also would like to point that the art department, for example, made decisions that actually help us without the audience even realizing it. I think it's a subconscious thing, and actually they work with the colors we wear, the clothing we wear. They're actually complementing colors, and in your mind you're not thinking of it, but it's actually making a connection and making it easier for you to feel like those characters belong together. So the art department, the music, everything actually had made decisions to help our job. Yeah,
that's wonderful. That's a great insight. Thank you, Jose. So a question from another audience member. The script for this film is so special. Was there any scene from the script in particular that really stood out to you?
Stood out?
I don't know. Yeah, like I guess, I don't know. When you saw the film, yeah.
No, I really like the ending, but because it resumes a lot of that we have seen in the film, obviously. I mean, if you maybe watch the last scene, just the last scene, like a little clip, it won't tell you much, but it's great when it's in the film, no? But besides that, I like the scene when Jose talked with the nun at the first 20 minutes in the film, because the nun says something that is for me is really strong. That the nun says something like that the most of people prefer a dead person than a crazy one in his family. Because if you have a crazy one, you have to explain to the society, and you have to hide it, and you have to take care of it. And the thing is that no one wants to take care of a person with that kind of condition, illness, or whatever the correct word is. So that scene, I really like that. That confrontation between this nun that is saying some strong things, but really, well, it's kind of true. And this son that is trying to go to see his mom, no? But I don't know. I like that scene.
Excellent. Barbara, Jose, what do you want to add?
Well, for me, it's exactly the same. For me, that line of dialogue is so strong, and in a way, it resumes. No, there's a synthesis of the film and what it somehow questions about our society and the way it works. Now that it's easier to have a dead person to cherish, and to I don't know, tribute or celebrate than to have it in everyday's life. A crazy person, mental ill person in everyday's life, and how it's still a taboo when it's something so common, because mental illness at some point in different degrees is something like so common, and sometimes we feel so ashamed to talk about our mental weaknesses, no? That it can be in different levels, of course. It can be a pathology or just a one episode of experience in your life, but still as a society is something that it's terrible, but we feel really ashamed to talk about. So for me, that was like really that line of dialogue. It was really, it's really touching, and of course the end. I think that one of the strengths of the film is the way it builds this this progress to end up, you know, there with that decision.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful.
But Jose, what scene kind of, I don't know whether during reading the script or during the filming, what scene impacted you the most, would you say?
It's very different when you read the script than the actual shooting of the scene. So I think to me, well, actually it's weird because the ending, when I read it, it was the one that stood out, the scene that stood out, because the other was I could understood what they were about. I could see the line of thought of the character evolving. And in the end, it was like there's a time when he enters the forest, and I don't want to make a spoiler or something. It's like like we enter another movie or another world, and it's magical. And I think that's when the movie really stands out for me, because you can make a story that makes sense and print it, and everyone will like it, or at least everyone would say it makes sense. But to have a film where every scene made sense, and you somehow managed to free it, like to kind of explode or I don't know, or damage even a bit the logic of the movie. I think that's not only brave, but I think that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for things that I don't fully understand, that I had to think a little bit when I finished watching or reading. And I think this movie does that for me. I could speak about different scenes that I enjoy a lot, because of how we do it, because of the partner that I was with, because that was the whole movie. But I think the scene that really makes this film really special for me is the ending. And I don't want to make any spoilers, so I won't talk more.
Marcela, la pregunta de alguien en el público es, quería saber de todo el mundo, ¿cuál es la escena que más le conmovió a usted? Sea cuando leíste el guión o cuando la filmaste, lo que sea, como usted lo interpreta.
Para mí es cuando nos encontramos en la cerca y él decide decirle, le dice Ma, ella le dice cómo me llamó, y entonces ella se va y él le sigue diciendo como cosas, y ella se voltea y ahí se encuentran y le dice lo de la cicatriz que tiene en la cabeza y eso. A mí me parece que tanto cuando la leí como cuando la hicimos, siento que fue una de las escenas como más emotivas, porque después de que terminó, a mí me dieron como una sensación como unas ganas de seguir llorando, tal vez, no sé, ¿no? Como esa tristeza de esos dos seres ahí, madre e hijo, como tan triste, digamos.
Yeah, Marcela highlights a scene that I also agree is extremely powerful. It's the first time that Jose's character calls her mom, and mentions the scar on her head, which is how his way of convincing her that he's telling the truth. So much when she read the script and when she filmed it, that for her in both instances was the most emotional moment, to the point that even after they finished filming it, she still kind of felt the need to cry, because it was just such a powerful moment of these two human beings, mother and son, kind of realizing each other for the first time. So we're reaching the end of our time, so I'm just going to ask one last question from a user. I'm not sure who can answer this, but was the Caballo Viejo song in the script from the very beginning, or was it added later on in the filming process?
No, it was from the beginning.
Yeah. So
I think yeah, Barbara, no, Diogenes and Johnny, yeah, they asked for the song and they decided to make a new version of the song to include in the end titles. The ending titles is a new version without lyrics of Caballo Viejo.
Excellent.
I don't know if Caballo Viejo is Jose is a song that is well known in Colombia.
Yeah,
Here,
very well known here. Yes.
They asked what do you all think the song adds to the film? Does someone have an opinion on that?
I would say I'm jumping in. I would say it's kind of like what I said previously. Is those things that create the picture, but you're actually don't are conscious about it, like the music, like the sets, like the lighting, all of those components help everything. And even if you don't realize it, it's like, for example, when you hear classical music in cartoons, that makes it like higher viewing pleasure for the audience. And I think the music not only had that factor, but actually was part of the story, was part of the metaphor that was living in the movie.
Yeah, and it's for the character of Marcela. I mean, is that song represents a moment of happiness and a moment in which maybe, I don't know, has a quiet time in life. No, I mean, it's about a good time in the past, and finally is the moment in the film that when she can connect with something good. In the scene when she's dancing with the girl, I don't remember the character name, and that she invite you, Jose, to dance. That's also a time to. It's a escape, I think, from that madness to a good past. But that's in my interpretation. I don't know.
That's great, and that brings up a good point about asking Marcela. Marcela, la pregunta de alguien en el público es ¿qué significativo tiene la canción Caballo Viejo? No sé si usted quiere opinar sobre eso para su personaje o para la película en general.
No, para el personaje es claro que ella cuando estaba casada o cuando vivía, digamos, con Raúl, seguramente Raúl la escuchaba y también yo lo tomé también como caballo viejo, ¿no? Como ella, como un caballo que ya está viejo, que ya está ahí, que se puede morir o no, que no va a pasar nada con él. Pero digamos que en cuanto a la película, Diógenes siempre lo tuvo claro, siempre me dijo, esto es Caballo Viejo. De hecho hay una pequeña anécdota porque yo Caballo Viejo la bailé en salsa todo lo que quieran. Y cuando me dijo eso, pues es una canción que a mí me gusta mucho y yo como que la tarareé todo el tiempo en salsa y cuando ya llegamos al rodaje, Diógenes me dijo, no, yo no quiero la versión de salsa, yo quiero la versión llanera, que es la original. Y yo, ¡ah! Entonces me tocó empezar a escucharla, aunque pues no era para que yo cantara, ni mucho menos, era una cosa del personaje.
That's a great answer. So yeah, she echoed what Federico said about the importance of the song to her character and the backstory. But she also feels like it's a perfect metaphor for her character, that her character is kind of like an old horse, un caballo viejo, who could live or die and it wouldn't make a difference. But she echoes that Diogenes was always clear from the beginning that he absolutely wanted that song, that it was an important part of the film. And she shared an anecdote that she's actually long known that song and has danced to the salsa version of that song, and that's the one she was familiar with. But Diogenes clarified to her, no, that's not the version he wants to use. He wants to use the original. So she had to start listening to that a lot, not because she was going to sing to it or anything, but to kind of get background on the character and the film. So with that, I want to thank all of you again for joining us on your Sunday night. This was such a wonderful discussion. I hope it added a lot to the film for our audience who's seen it. If you haven't seen it, just a reminder, you still have until midnight tonight to rent it and then 24 hours to see it. This is an amazing film, wonderful talent, actors, producers. Thank you guys so much for coming and for allowing us to share this with our audience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much to the Miami Film Festival. It's a festival we love.
Great.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity and space, really. Thanks a lot.
Of course, we believe in this film so much. Thank you.
Yo
Thank you
también
very much for inviting us.
quería decir algo y es que también la película es producto de todo un equipo que está atrás, director de arte, maquillaje, director asistente, la persona que nos da la comida, Johnny como productor, los otros actores que nos acompañaron, y siento que se creó un equipo tan bonito que esta película, como nosotros decíamos en el set, se hizo con mucho amor. Eso no quiere decir que todos nos acostemos en una cama, no, pero me refiero a que era como si todos estuviéramos conectados en un fin, y por eso digo, desde la persona que de pronto a uno le llevaba el desayuno o nos ponía el desayuno para comer, hasta cámara, sonido, mucha gente que también en el cine en Colombia uno se empieza a encontrar con el mismo sonidista o con el mismo cámara, otros nuevos, y vuelvo y repito que fue realmente una película hecha con mucho amor, porque Diógenes, que nos lo transmitió también, ¿no? Una parte como de su vida también está puesta ahí en esta película. Y obviamente gracias al Festival de Miami por la invitación. Yo lamentaré siempre que justo nos haya cogido en pandemia, pero así es, porque como dije antes, el día que estaban José y Diógenes en Miami, que se presentaba, ese día lo cancelaron, hubiera podido ser el día anterior. Y cuando yo llego a Cartagena con Johnny Hendrix, ese mismo día también cancelaron Cartagena. Entonces uno decía, pero ¿por qué no fue un día antes? Bueno, para mí es muy importante esta película, para el cine colombiano es muy importante. También quería decir, y no sé si me extiendo, que hoy me llamaron, tengo unos amigos en España a los que obviamente yo les mandé el link para que pagaran, y hoy me llamaron y todos lo que han coincidido, otros 3 aquí en Colombia, como 5 en Colombia, unos son médicos, otros son colegas, otros simplemente son amigos, incluso una amiga invidente en España, o sea, la escuchó. Y mi sobrina, por ejemplo, también que la vio, y todos terminaron llorando y muy tristes. El médico me decía, pero ¿por qué? ¿Por qué es así? ¿Por qué? Entonces, finalmente, ¿para qué voy a esto? Cuando el cine, el teatro, la literatura nos deja algo adentro, sea que tú te carcajees, sea que tú llores, sea que tú te preguntes, que salgas con reflexiones, con preguntas, yo creo que ahí se logró el objetivo. Y siento que independiente de lo que pase, lo que yo he recibido de la gente, muy poca que la he visto, es que la gente le encantó la película, que la siguen, que se encarretan, como decimos nosotros, que la cogen y no, que uno dice, se encarretan y que terminan casi que llorando. Hoy un amigo antes de esto, un actor, me llamó y me dijo, estoy aquí en la terraza fumando y llorando, pensando en mi mamá, pensando en esos seres como tan, sí, como tan tristes y desequilibrados que pasan en la vida. Es lo que a mí me ha llegado. Por eso los invito a todos que sigan las redes del Festival de Miami, que hasta hoy a las 12 de la noche todavía la pueden ver.
That's a great note to end on. She wanted to acknowledge the huge crew that is behind this film. Who are with us today, from art department, makeup, catering, the rest of the cast and crew. It was a beautiful team. The film was made with lots of love. She credits Diogenes for really setting the tone there. She thanks the Miami Film Festival for programming this. She regrets the timing with the coronavirus canceling. The same thing happened with the festival in Cartagena. but she's happy that the film is being seen now. She says she's gotten calls from friends in Spain, from family and other friends who have seen the film, and people just really get hooked with the story. They're crying at the end. They're moved. They're thinking about their mother or people in their lives. And when that happens, a film's objectives have been met. So she's very pleased with that. Okay, so thank you again, everyone, and have a wonderful Sunday evening. And
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing your future work and bringing it to Miami.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully.
Gracias,
you.
gracias.
Gracias, Marcela. Gracias, José.
Gracias.
Thank you, Nicolas. Bye.
Adiós, Nicolás. Gracias.
Ay,
Chao.
Un placer.
chao.